In this video, I'm going to tell you a story that's either going to be amusing, disturbing, or just terrifying. It depends on your perspective. Hi, Mark. And as most of you know, if you watch this channel, I live in Southwest Florida, and it's just a beautiful part of the country. It's a great place to live. There are some things that are, well, I don't know if they're unique to the area, but pretty unusual. And if you live in other parts of the country, you probably don't experience it. For example, today when I was driving to the store, I came across this little guy. This turtle is crossing the street. It is a big snapper turtle. I am not even going to get close to it. Wow. And on a daily basis, I see alligators and turtles and different things. So the reason I'm telling you this is because it does lead up to the story that I'm about to share with you. Just about a week ago, my wife and I took a trip. We took a short vacation. Well, it wasn't really a vacation. We had things to do. And we were gone for 5 days. And we came back. And, you know, when you come back to a house that's been gone for a few days, you're unpacking and just doing different things, preparing to return to your normal life. And suddenly she started screaming from the bathroom. And I'll tell you, when my wife starts screaming from the bathroom, it only means a couple of things. She cut her finger off, the water pipe burst, or something really unusual is happening. And in this case, it was the latter. There was something living in our toilet. All right, I've been talking about turtles and alligators. I can tell you it wasn't a turtle or an alligator. And I know where your mind is going because we have terrible snakes down here. When I say terrible, some are just huge, like the constrictor snakes that we have down here, the Burmese pythons. They can grow to, I don't know, 18, 20 feet. We have big, giant diamondback rattlesnakes that grow to 4 or 5 feet. But it wasn't a snake. What was living in our toilet, I know normally I don't want to talk about what's inside my toilet, but it was a live frog. A big frog. Now, let me tell you about the frogs we have here. We have a lot of invasive species here in Florida because people buy animals, they buy them as pets, reptiles quite often. They can't keep them, so they release them into the wild, and it causes problems. And sometimes, as what happened several years ago during a hurricane, a pet shop was destroyed, and a lot of the exotic species got away. And now they're living down here in the Everglades. So one of those animals was what was found in my toilet. It was a Cuban tree frog, a big frog. I don't want to go reaching into my toilet. So I'm trying to, first of all, I thought I could flush this guy down, right? And I'm realizing a frog, a little bit of flushing water has no effect on a frog, whatever. They live in water. Well, you're probably wondering, how did it get in there? Well, these Cuban frogs are very unique. The Cuban tree frog can climb up just about anything. And we frequently see them on ledges. If I look right out this window, there's a ledge above my neighbor's window. And I one time saw 2 of them kind of hibernating there. They were there for weeks, just laying there. And I went up there one day and I took a little stick and poked them a little bit and they started moving. I wasn't sure if they were alive or dead. They were just hibernating. Well, what I'm sure happened with this frog is it climbed up the roof and then it got into our vent stack for the plumbing in the house. All houses have vent stacks. That's where the noxious gases can escape. And also when you do things like flush the toilet, when the water goes somewhere, it pushes air, of course, and that air has to have a release as well. A pipe comes down and it goes back up again and then comes over, and in that little pipe, that U shape that goes down, water always stays there, and that's what, it's a lock, and it keeps the fumes from going into your house. So instead they will go up this exhaust. And it's, a little pipe that you see sticking out of your roof. So what happened is he climbed up the roof, he climbed up that pipe, and he hopped in and either dropped down or climbed down. But what probably happened is he got all the way to the bottom, he couldn't go anywhere and started to climb back up. And the first thing he came to was probably that pipe that led to the toilet. If it would have been the one leading to the sink, wouldn't have been any big deal. He probably couldn't have got through it. But he got through, and he can swim. He's a frog, right? So once he got in that toilet, the lid was on. He couldn't get out. So I open up the lid and I'm trying to grab him, and suddenly he jumped. He had to jump 5, 6, 7 feet. It was unbelievable. He was super frog. So I had a little plastic, Dixie cup, drinking cup, disposable cup, and I put it over and I got him, and I got my hand underneath there. And I took him outside and re-released him back to the wild. I don't know if we're supposed to be releasing the invasive species, but I don't think there's anything you can do about those frogs because they are omnipresent. They are everywhere. And we even have some really tiny little ones, and sometimes the right time of year, they'll be all over the place. You go out to your car and you'll have 5, 6 of them. They could sit on a penny. They're really small, but they're just irritating and annoying. Nothing wrong with them. They don't hurt anything. But I'll tell you, that was a fright for my wife. And it was something I'd just rather not deal with. I think it's unusual. I tell the story to people around here, and nobody, really can relate to me a similar story. So I know it's not common that something like that would happen. But like I said, for some of you that would be terrifying. For some of you it would be amusing. But nevertheless, I thought it was an interesting story to tell, and I thought that you would enjoy it. So don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and we will see you back here another time with stories of Florida living.